There's a lot of talk about what it means to be a high-value woman, but most of it is surface level. People will tell you it's about looking expensive, dating a certain kind of man, or following a rigid set of rules. But true high-value women know it goes much deeper than that. It's not just about what you wear or who you attract. It's about how you move, how you think, and how you carry yourself in a world that constantly tries to dictate your worth. Today, we're uncovering the 10 laws of high-value women that no one talks about, the silent rules that separate the extraordinary from the average. If you're ready to step into your power, let's get into it. Law number 1, the law of self-possession. A high-value woman is never scattered, never desperate, never lost in the noise of the world. She is deeply rooted in herself. Her thoughts, her emotions, and her energy are hers to control. This means she doesn't overreact. She doesn't let other people's actions dictate her mood or her self-worth. When something or someone tries to shake her, she remains composed because she knows who she is and what she stands for. Self-possession is the art of being anchored in your own power. It's the ability to walk into any room and command attention without saying a word. It's the quiet confidence of a woman who knows she never has to chase, never has to prove, and never has to beg. And most importantly, a self-possessed woman never lets her emotions run ahead of her logic. She knows that how she responds to the world sets the tone for how the world responds to her. Law number 2, the law of exclusivity. A high-value woman understands that access to her is a privilege, not a right. She does not make herself overly available. Her time, her energy, and her presence are reserved for those who truly deserve them. She is not the woman who says yes to every invitation, entertains every man who shows interest, or allows just anyone into her inner circle. She is selective, intentional, and discerning. Exclusivity isn't just about romance. It applies to friendships, business, and even social interactions. Not everyone deserves access to your mind, your emotions, or your personal space. A woman who gives herself too freely is often undervalued, while a woman who is intentional with her presence commands respect. And here's the truth. Scarcity creates value. When you are everywhere, you become common. When you are selective, you become desirable. A high-value woman understands that being too accessible dilutes her power, and because of that, she moves through life with quiet restraint, knowing that the right people will always recognize her worth. Law number 3. The law of decorum. A high-value woman understands that how she carries herself speaks louder than what she says. She moves through life with grace, control, and an unshakable sense of self-respect because she knows that composure is power. She does not raise her voice to prove a point. She does not engage in unnecessary drama, public outbursts, or petty arguments. Instead, she observes, she calculates, and she chooses when and how to respond. A woman who lacks decorum is easy to provoke, easy to manipulate, and easy to diminish. But a woman who masters her emotions and actions, she is untouchable. Decorum is not about being passive. It's about knowing that not every battle is worth fighting, not every comment deserves a response, and not every insult requires your energy. When you handle situations with elegance and restraint, you instantly separate yourself from women who are impulsive, reactive, and easily controlled. A high-value woman commands respect not by force, but by presence. She lets her grace do the talking because she understands. True power is quiet. Law number 4, the law of mystery. A high-value woman understands that what is known too easily is rarely valued. She does not lay all her cards on the table. She does not over-explain, overshare, or feel the need to make herself fully understood by everyone she meets. Mystery is her silent power. It creates curiosity. It draws people in. She knows that the most intriguing women are the ones who reveal themselves slowly, intentionally, and only to those who have earned it. This applies to everything, her personal life, her emotions, and even her ambitions. She doesn't announce every move before making it. She doesn't give people full access to her thoughts and feelings just because they ask. Instead, she allows people to wonder, to lean in, to seek to know more. And here's the secret. Mystery isn't about deception. It's about discernment. A woman who lacks mystery gives too much too soon. A woman who masters it understands that curiosity fuels desire and scarcity fuels value. She is unforgettable not because she is loud, but because there is always more to her than meets the eye. Law number 5, the law of refinement. A high-value woman is always elevating herself, not for others, but because excellence is her standard. She understands that refinement is not about perfection. It's about intentionality. Every detail of how she presents herself, her speech, her mannerisms, her personal style, reflects the care she puts into herself. Refinement is the difference between a woman who merely exists and a woman who leaves an impression. It's the way she speaks, articulate, thoughtful, never excessive. It's the way she dresses, polished, timeless, never trying too hard. It's the way she carries herself, graceful, deliberate, never rushed. But true refinement isn't just about aesthetics. It's about character. A refined woman is emotionally intelligent, poised, and always in control of how she engages with the world. She doesn't move through life haphazardly. She curates her presence with precision. This is why a high-value woman invests in herself continuously. Not because she is trying to be someone else, but because she understands that evolution is the essence of elegance. Law number 6, the law of feminine restraint. A high-value woman embodies the power of restraint. She understands that there is a quiet strength in holding back, in choosing when to speak, when to act, and when to remain still. Feminine restraint is the ability to resist the temptation to over-explain, overextend, or overreact. She does not feel the need to chase after anyone, whether in love, friendship, or success. Her energy is not spent on constant proving or validation. Instead, she allows things to unfold naturally. She knows that when you are constantly reaching for something or someone, you lose the allure of being in demand. In romantic relationships, this means she never chases after a man or settles for scraps of attention. She knows that if a man values her, he will pursue her. In friendships, it means not over-investing in relationships that are not mutually nourishing. She doesn't beg for love or approval because she understands her worth is innate and should never be compromised. Feminine restraint also means knowing when to step back. She does not dominate conversations or take up all the space. Instead, she listens more than she speaks, providing her thoughts and feelings in a way that is measured, considered, and intentional. In every situation, she asks herself, is this worth my energy? If the answer is no, she does not waste her time. Feminine restraint is not about being passive. It is the quiet power of knowing your worth and choosing not to overextend yourself in a world that often expects more than you should give. It's the strength in knowing that the best things in life come when you let them come to you, effortlessly. Law number 7, the law of silent power. A high-value woman knows that true power is never loud or forced. It doesn't need to be displayed or demanded. It exists in the quiet moments, in the way she moves through the world with unspoken authority. Silent power is the ability to influence, to command respect, and to capture attention without saying a word. This law speaks to a woman's ability to hold space without dominating it, to make an impact simply through her presence. She doesn't need to constantly prove her worth or assert herself in every situation. Instead, she exudes confidence and strength in a way that is palpable but subtle. Silent power is seen in the way she handles difficult situations with grace, the way she commands a room with just a glance, and the way she moves with purpose. She understands that actions speak louder than words, and that her value doesn't require validation from anyone else. It's reflected in the way she carries herself, how she interacts with others, and how she remains composed when the world around her becomes chaotic. She never tries to manipulate situations or force outcomes. Instead, she allows things to unfold as they will, trusting that her innate strength and sense of self will always lead her to where she needs to be. Silent power is about trusting your presence, trusting your instincts, and letting the world feel your energy without you needing to shout for attention. A woman who understands the law of silent power doesn't need to assert her dominance. Her mere existence does that for her. She embodies power with every step, every word, and every decision she makes. It's a quiet, unshakable force that people feel, even if they can't quite explain it. Law number 8, the law of emotional elegance. A high-value woman understands that emotional intelligence is not just a skill, it is an art. She knows how to manage her emotions in a way that reflects maturity, poise, and grace. Emotional elegance is the ability to respond to situations with balance, to navigate her feelings without letting them overwhelm her, and to maintain her composure in the face of challenges. It is not about suppressing emotions, but about knowing how to channel them in a way that is both powerful and graceful. When a high-value woman feels anger, frustration, or sadness, She doesn't lash out or allow her emotions to control her. Instead, she pauses, reflects, and responds with thoughtfulness. She understands that emotions are a reflection of our inner world, but they should never dictate our actions. Emotional elegance also means knowing when to express vulnerability and when to maintain strength. It's the balance between being emotionally available and protecting your energy when necessary. She knows when to open up and share her feelings, but also when to hold back and process her emotions privately, never airing her emotional turmoil in public or seeking validation from others. In her relationships, emotional elegance is about knowing how to communicate her needs and boundaries calmly and assertively. She is never reactive or impulsive, but rather she approaches even the most difficult conversations with grace, never raising her voice or resorting to manipulation. She is in control of her emotions, never allowing her feelings to cloud her judgment or the way she treats others. A high-value woman with emotional elegance does not engage in petty drama or childish behavior. She is grounded in her ability to remain composed, even in the face of conflict or pressure. Her emotions are like the steady flow of a river, never erratic or tumultuous. They are contained within her, always flowing with purpose and never losing their direction. Ultimately, emotional elegance is about the inner peace that radiates outward. It's the ability to remain unshaken in the midst of chaos, to handle disappointment with dignity, and to express love and care without desperation. A woman who practices emotional elegance attracts respect, admiration, and a sense of calm wherever she goes. Law number 9, the law of private success. A high-value woman understands that true success doesn't need to be announced or validated by the outside world. She knows that her worth and accomplishments are not dependent on external praise, attention, or approval. Instead, she chooses to live her success quietly, allowing her actions and results to speak for themselves. The law of private success is about subtle achievement, the kind of success that doesn't need a spotlight. She doesn't broadcast every milestone, share every victory, or flaunt her progress on social media. She understands that genuine success is often personal, and it's the journey, not the public recognition, that matters most. This law reflects a deep inner security. A high-value woman knows that she does not need to seek external affirmation for her worth. She achieves for herself, not for the validation of others. Her focus is not on being seen, but on continuing her growth and mastering her craft. Whether she's building a career, improving her health, or nurturing her relationships, she is doing it for her own fulfillment, not for applause. In a world where everyone seems to be chasing attention, a woman who practices the law of private success is a breath of fresh air. She doesn't need to constantly share her achievements, but her success is undeniable in the way she carries herself and in the results she produces. She isn't afraid to be seen as humble or understated, because she knows that real success doesn't require validation. It simply exists. Private success also means being selective about whom she shares her personal journey with. She understands that not everyone deserves to witness her wins, and some achievements are best kept to herself or shared only with a trusted few. The high-value woman doesn't need to explain herself to anyone. Her success is self-evident in the way she lives her life. Ultimately, the law of private success is about owning your achievements without needing to shout about them. It's about quiet confidence, the kind of success that grows steadily in the background, without fanfare, and yet has an undeniable impact. The high-value woman knows that real success is measured not by external accolades, but by the peace, fulfillment, and impact she creates for herself and others, often in silence. Law number 10, the law of legacy. A high-value woman is deeply aware that her life is not just about the present moment, but about the imprint she leaves behind. The law of legacy is about understanding that every action, every choice, and every relationship contributes to the story that will be told about her long after she's gone. It is a constant reminder that a woman's influence extends far beyond her lifetime, and that her true value lies in what she builds and leaves for future generations. Legacy is not just about material wealth or fame. It's about the values, principles, and wisdom she passes on to others. A high-value woman lives with the intent of creating something meaningful, whether that's within her family, her career, or her community. She understands that everything she does is a seed she plants for the future. How she treats others, how she carries herself, and what she dedicates her energy to all contribute to the legacy she will leave. She is purposeful in the way she nurtures relationships. She builds strong, genuine connections with those who share her vision, knowing that the people she surrounds herself with will help carry her values forward. She teaches, supports, and empowers others to reach their full potential, knowing that her influence is not just about her immediate circle, but the ripple effect it creates. The law of legacy also ties into a woman's personal mission and purpose. A high-value woman is driven by a sense of purpose beyond herself. She asks herself, what am I contributing to the world that will last? What will people say when they speak my name? How have I made a positive impact? Whether she's raising children to become strong, self-sufficient individuals, leading by example in her workplace, or championing a cause close to her heart, she lives with the awareness that her legacy is her true wealth. In the modern world, many chase temporary pleasures or fleeting recognition, but a woman who values legacy understands that true fulfillment comes from creating something lasting and meaningful. She builds a reputation for integrity, wisdom, and kindness, knowing that this is the foundation upon which her legacy will stand. Even when faced with challenges, she makes decisions that align with her vision of the future, knowing that every small step contributes to something much bigger than herself. Ultimately, the law of legacy teaches us to live intentionally. A high-value woman doesn't waste time on trivialities. She understands that every moment counts. Her life is a canvas, and she is the artist creating a masterpiece that will inspire, empower, and leave a profound impact for generations to come. She knows that the way she lives today will be the foundation of the legacy she leaves tomorrow, and she embraces this responsibility with honor and grace. Thank you for watching and embracing these powerful laws of high-value women. If you found this video inspiring, don't forget to like and subscribe for more content that empowers and elevates. Remember, your value is limitless. Keep leveling up, and I'll see you in the next video.